Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sloppy Lab. Hope you all can hear me all right. We have a little bit of a change in programming for this evening. Due to a confluence of duck-related circumstances, instead of our usual bottom of the beaker recording this evening, we're going to do that later on in the week. And I've got for you an ABR adaptive match. ABR adaptive match, very yummy and very apropos to the Kagi Top Cut season that we're in. Hey Zoc, thanks for the good wishes. Yeah, maybe we'll end up doing our bottom of the beaker recording tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll be the warm up act for Data Forge stream as many nights as we can. I'm looking forward to your match with JDG later, so we can expect to hope to wrap things up in time to catch the beginnings of that. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, whoop whoop flocks them all. Let's see if we can inspect our way into a point here. May need some magic. I don't know. K-Marsh is a strong player. Don't know what they're playing. I don't think I've played them in adaptive before, so we'll see. I'm bringing this evening Russell, the Magician of the Abnormal, which is a namesake, a very yummy namesake, and one of my absolute favorite adaptive decks to play. Looks very spicy. Some of the stats hide some holes which are not too difficult to exploit. So we'll see. This C of 9.5, right on the cusp of just okayness, at least it appears, is really, really awkward and clunky. So this deck can we'll see. This deck can get overwhelmed by the board. That key to disc is critical, and the Harbinger of Doom requires handling with care. But also critical. So we've got a couple Scullions to make that Harbinger pop. Also the Exhume. Exhume is lots of great targets. You got the Infernus, you got your daughters, Igor, and an Eddie, of course. Sounds more tidy than sloppy. I don't know. We'll see. This could be sloppy. Still fighting off a little bit of a cold too. So I gotta make quick work, or the long game is gonna grind me down. I don't know. So we'll see. But I guess in Zoc's honor, we have a Data Forge in this deck that is very much alive. So lots of archiving, more than it looks. So you see 3, and you're like, 3, okay, what's the big deal? But the Eddie can be played many times with Exhume, with Regrowth, or with just the efficiency and going back through. It's going to be a not finished with you potential candidate, so I'm very much not finished with that Eddie. And yeah, I'm often like to see that third key be a Data Forge key. So we'll see. We'll see where things go. I do like playing this deck. It can be clunky. Lots of speed, lots of efficiency. Not too many pips. Creature count's pretty low. The board control story is pretty awkward. So it's able to pop and punch hard, but has some weaknesses that are exploitable too. So I do enjoy it for adaptive. And I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it'll hold up for me. Let's see. If they made a card called Tidy Lab Work, it would be a lot worse than Sloppy Lab Work. I mean, I think Sloppy Lab Work is better than Lab Work. No? Is that a hot take? I think that's just almost objectively true. I think the number of situations where you'd rather have Lab Work than Sloppy Lab Work are few. I mean, it's very rare when your last card, you're forced into a discard versus wanting to really make use of that extra efficiency. And I had this thought earlier today, actually, while listening to the Nordic Keyforge podcast, where they were going through some of the rules changes and updates. Can we all just agree to call the damage icon, the discard pip? The discard pip is going to be the sloppy pip, right? Because what is a lab work with this discard pip? Sloppy lab work, you know? And so as York gets older, he gets sloppier. I think that's pretty fair. So I'm gonna think about this pip as the sloppy pip, and hopefully we can make it stick. I don't know. We'll see. And I got to give a shout out to Floxamal. If you folks haven't seen the match on their stream yesterday evening between Quick Draw 3457 and JDG 314, that was an awesome match. Highly recommended viewing. So definitely call it Yerking. Yerking, I mean, I feel like yerking is a thing you do when you're on a stream, but not really being careful about keeping your computer on the table, you know? So you're kind of doing other stuff, but then you're not just lurking, you're also knocking things off the table and such. So maybe it'll stick. But I don't know. I think the delta between a lab work and a sloppy lab work being just this discard pip makes it a clear answer in my mind that we've got a sloppy enhancement. So yes, yerking is what you do. Yerking is what you do when you carry out, when you resolve a sloppy pip. Okay. I like that. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, we have quite a nice confluence of content creators swirling about. So Zach was the guest on that stream. It was really nice, and they're also going to be, I believe, Zach can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe going to be the next Zocktails guest. So looking forward to that too. And we on the old Sloppy Lab Work crew at Bottom of the Beaker are going to be welcoming Floxamal to the show pretty soon too. So love it. Looking forward to it. Uses double sloppy pip yerk to yerk these cards. Yeah. Nice. 100%. Oh yeah, I like it. Yerkin. So we'll see. But I see my opponent has come alive on Discord. So maybe we'll be kicking off here in a moment. But yeah, as for the Magician, I've seen folks play it differently to varying effect. I do tend to try to archive a bunch of this Untamed just so I never see it. You know, if I call Untamed and only play Mimicries, I'm usually pretty happy, tucking the rest of the way as Data Forge fodder. But I've seen folks go heavy on the disk archiving and then have a big kind of disk avalanche at some point down the road. It's always interesting with these decks that have a one big payoff that is not a gimme, right? You got to work for it, and there's this tension of like, ooh, how far do I push? How far do I push my luck to make the Data Forge pay off? There's only 3 printed archive cards, a number of hand enhancers. You got a couple daughters, but it's not like, oh, I've got 7 archiving, abilities floating around. It's definitely going to happen. So there's also this tension of like, yeah, do I go for it or do I not? So decisions to be made, that epic quest effect, as it were. How far do I hold out for Sanctum card number 7 or the 16th card between the 16th contributor between Hand Amber and Hand in amber. Hand in amber and logos creatures on board. That's what you do. Count to 16. We'll see. Hey, Ketzer. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, special one this evening. We're going to be streaming an ABR adaptive match against myself and K-March, and then doing our usual bottom of the beaker later on. I think we have a fun episode planned. I'm excited for it. And I'm also, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm excited to talk about another format in the coming weeks that we're seeing in ABR this season, and started pulling some data from past seasons on it. And I was surprised by some of the things that we saw. So I'm just going to leave that there as a teaser, and you'll have to all see what comes out of the lab. But yeah, pretty good. I'm curious too how folks would go this. Would you use the archiving, just looking at the deck list, right? Just looking at the deck list. Would you think, yeah, that data forge, I'm going to go for it? Or were you thinking, nah, I'm just going to use my archiving for value to maybe get a couple 5-card turns here and there, as opposed to really building up that bank. But so if a sloppy lab work member loses an ABR adaptive week, are they kicked out? Ooh. That is a good question. Can I answer after this week? Yeah. You'll remember too that I was foretold, self foretold to win CAGI 7, and well, I made my way into the Top Cut chat as a potential caster, and instead of competitor. So we'll see. Hey, Dinobot, yeah, let's go. Oh, 80% of the time I go for value. Data Forge would just be situational, says Data Forge stream. You, sir, I expect more from your moniker than 80% of the time for value, 20% for the Data Forge itself. A lot on what mimicry targets, says Floximal, are available. Yeah, the mimicry targets are interesting, and definitely have played matches against double mimicry where I end up holding a lot of my key actions until I can shuffle in game 2, just because it is very scary. I think I've had games in past CAGI seasons where I have had, walk-off finishes with the mimicries being both sides of a Jenga, which is really fun, or United Action. I think I had one game where I played mimicry as United Action 3 times, which was super, super fun. Only 3 archives. All right, well, let's see. Let's see how big these archives get. I'm not saying I'm taking it as a challenge, but I'm not saying I'm not. So we'll see. Yeah, very much not finished with that, Eddie. Not finished with you indeed, I say. And I will look for archiving options with mimicry. Maybe I force it too much. I don't know. But an eclectic inquiry or two can go a long way. So we'll see. I don't know. The gaff Bruce Lee levels. Man, I am jealous of those. I'm jealous of the custom emotes, man. We're sitting on the cusp, on the threshold of greatness. To get in some of those custom bells and whistles. So perhaps soon. Yeah. I have one other awesome moniker deck that I really wanted to work for adaptive, but has not panned out. Russell the Bartering. If there was bartering. If there ever was a great named deck for a Russell to play in adaptive, Russell the Bartering has to be it. But yeah, oof. Ooh, just have someone else make them for you. Yeah, we need That's what we need. Let's go. Let's go. Dinobot. Dinobot is the master, huh? Okay. Okay. Noted. 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 I know B-Hawk did some cool ones for us one ABR season too. We had the Brabble Rabble had the dabbing Brabble, which was pretty epic. Although if these are your handiwork, Dinobot, I am impressed. Color me impressed. Color me impressed. Indeed. All right. Mind melding with the magician, visualizing playing Eddie 6 or 7 times, not finished with you, getting down really low on deck with those Taus, shuffling him back up, drawing him again. Oh, I don't think I've seen this DT best set one yet. That's pretty cool. I will say too that I had a good chuckle. At the again listening to the Nordic Keyforge podcast, and they were sort of tongue in cheek asking one another if they were a part of the DT best set crowd. I think the captain is on board. No surprise. The captain was liking Dark Tidings before it was cool, as the kids say. So we'll see too. I will say though too for the KFPL folks out there, I submitted my lineup, and I am perhaps I don't know. I don't say going out on a little bit of a limb, but doing some experimentation for science. We've got some really spicy DT options on our on the old Sloppy Lab Work team. Quick Draw's got some really cool decks. I know Floximal is familiar with some of those evil witches, and Ollie, Enchantress Ollie is one spicy little number that was swirling on our sphere. But I'm trying to lower SAS, relatively speaking, to see how it'll hang. And I have high hopes for it, but I'm going to throw it to the wolves. It has done fairly well in TCO competitive. It's done pretty well in some testing against some more serious contenders, but I feel like there's really going to be a good chance to see how it hangs with some heat. So I've got it's 3 2-deck survival little mini events, or events, and I've got 1 deck devoted to science in the mix here, though I do secretly have high hopes for it. So we'll see. Think you mean cult? Oh no. I like the Dino Bot Happy, Bo 11, Bo Sticks. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Bum. All right, still warming up the old adaptive juices. Oh. We'll see, Zoc. I might be an early raid of the old NKFL match between you and JDG. Should be an exciting one. We shall see. You certainly saw a clinic on Chandra yesterday. So, and I'm sure you were catching it. It's a good one. It was a fun deck to watch. I think every time I watch, just win 2-0. Just win 2-0. Is that like when you get called to time and you can't forge the third key just to win 2-0? Yeah. Um, yeah. The Chandra is definitely an iconic deck, and piloted by JDG, iconic. Got a couple of those. I know. Whenever I watch JDG play Chandra, I take another look at all of my decks that have Animator, and I'm like, man, there has to be something cool here. And similarly with like watching Not Tonight play Rector, I'm like, there's got to be some lower SAS AOA that I'm sleeping on in my collection. A clinic on how I could get beat. Yeah, he gives me that one for free whenever we match up, and he's playing Chandra. Yeah, I think. Oh, I've played Chandra fairly recently in the 2 NKFL seasons ago. I think it was 2 ago. But we've done a lot of testing with and against it over the seasons and for various events. It is a mind melty deck for sure. For sure. Try to hold flashbacks being beaten by him. Yeah. And he is a very methodical player. So you got to give him that too. He is very, very careful with his lines. And certainly the decks that he plays frequently, he knows inside and out. So a tough opponent to face, and teammates are the best and the worst in all ways, right? Teammate matches. So, all right, let's go. Actually, I'm going to. What's the time limit supposed to be for ABR matches? I feel like I should probably promote good habits, right? We'll just go for it. It's not going to go to time. All right. Game is up. Let's go. Thank you for the wishes. Looking for some magic. Draw well. Lots of archives. I've been challenged to make these this data forge work with my paltry 3 archives. So let's see. Challenge acknowledged. I won't say accepted, but acknowledged. All right. Good luck. Have fun. And no worries. Oops. No worries 1. Okay. 45-minute. Thank you muchly. Ooh, look at this hand. Keeping this. Although, well, notes on this afterwards. Keeping this without even looking at their deck. Okay, so they've got a cool DT with Illusions of Grandeur, easy marks. Let's see. Safer Sorry, double Booby Trap. Cool. Agung, Triska, and CXO Tabor, Captain Val Jericho. Oof. All right, so quickly into Logos. We're going to start tucking things away. I'm going to tuck away, I think, this Rustnar. They've got a Frigorific Rod, which is kind of annoying, but not really one. Seeker Needle, Flying Spectre. Maybe I tuck away actually the imprinted Marmook. Nah. The Rustnar is super unlikely to get value. Okay, cool. And now this is interesting already. I have the Infernus. Don't have a ton to do with it, but I'm tempted to actually go Untamed here, buff this Marmook. I'm actually going to hold the Regrowth, intending to regrow an Infernus, but I'm probably going to purge my own Cauldron Boil. I guess I could hit the Regrowth too later on. So maybe we go that, unless they give me some pips. We'll see. But we're going untamed. Keep those rolling. And they're appreciating my namesake. Yes, indeed. I have no untamed duders in discard, so I can play the regrowth safely. Cauldron Boil does no things. Oh my. That is some dis. That is a hand o dis. Thank you for the luck, Dinobot. Oof. Val. Very nice. So what is their artifact control story? We didn't really take a great look here. I don't see anything jumping out at me. They have the rod and the storm surge, but that won't be affecting us now. So okay. So let's go into Dis. Saying no on the archives. Playing this one, I will put down this Scullion here. Plain and Furnace. I'm going to take mine. I'm actually going to grab the Cauldron Boil and Murmook to thin out some of that Untamed. Okay. And burn these Evil Eyes. I'm going to hold the Exhume for next turn here. Also, don't hate seeing Gigantica yet. Okay, Scooped puts 2 damage on Infernus. Easy Marks exalts Infernus. Rude. Rude. Rude, I say. And the Flying Spectre. And a Cowp. Oh my. Already getting out of hand with his board. And Safer Sorry. And they're archiving their creatures. Very interesting. So they get to archive their Val Jericho and Valmart. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay. Fair enough. I think I'm going to take a rather inefficient turn and just go Logos and tuck this Data Forge into archives. And now I have to think about whether I want to exhume my Infernus or Eddy once I pop the key to Dis. So we'll see. So they're going back into Unfathomable, playing the Frigorific Rod, and smashing my Infernus. Okay. Discards Maelstrom and exhausting my Scullion. Yeah. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So some decisions to be had here. They can now use the rod to exhaust my stuff kind of at will. That's annoying. Val is ready to come down as soon as I pop my as soon as I pop this key. And if they do want to keep going into Unfathomable, then they can keep tapping down or exhausting my key to Dis. And they've got that Spectre, also annoying. Lots of annoying things from them. I also have to worry about if I do go back into Dis and exhume my Infernus, then they're gonna get a key. So I'm gonna be a little bit greedy here, not taking archives. I am going to use the key to dis. I am going to exhume the eddy and archive Song of the Wild. Playing a Malazan. And now the question is, would I rather have the Scullion or the Malazan? They've got Val Jericho in archives. If not for that, I think I'd rather have the Malazan. So we'll play the Scullion and see if we're able to make any use out of it. Okay, so they do go right into Star Alliance. Do take those archives, and we see that we drew one of our mimicries, which is pretty cool. I was eyeing that Maelstrom, so Maelstrom could be a fun target. Would let them forge, unfortunately. Also will mean that we get to Cool. They're just going nuts. And they fight down my Eddy anyway. Okay. Okay, cool. I was hoping that the Eddy would survive and I'd get to pump up my archives there. There's maybe a case to be made for going on Logos and trying to grab that Cutthroat Research, but feels kind of dubious letting them go into the Star Alliance board. Just seems really bad. So let's see what else we have options for. Exalting damaged creatures, maybe not great. So I can increase key costs by 1 for each friendly creature. I'll have 2 each power represented among friendly creatures, right? So key cost increase of 2. It's not terribly impactful. Some nice options here, but I think the Maelstrom seems the most tempting. And then it's a question of whether we go for it now or give them one more turn with these SA dudes. Looks like I'll see a bunch of Logos plus a Scullion, potentially. I may actually go Logos here. Take the Tide to kill the Flying Spectre and hit Val Jericho with the Scullion. So first roll Tau Tau, archive, not the artifact because that'll sit and play and be fine. Let's archive this Rustnar. Let's use this Igor. Take the Cutthroat Research, happy to see that. Steal 2. I will take the Tide. It's going to pop the Spectre and give me a fight here with the Scullion. Kill Val Jericho, play the Daughter, so I'll still see 6 cards at the end of the turn. And could have been worse. Could have been worse, leaving them with 3 Duders. And now I have to ask myself whether I want to play this Mimicry on Maelstrom still. They've got a turn or 2 at least before they're going to flip their deck, and still have some interesting options. Maelstrom would give me another crack at the Igor, which is tempting. Okay, so they fight into my Scullion to free up a slot next to Triska, playing CXO Tabor, really strong. They forgot to raise the Tide. That's a bummer. Okay, I'll allow it. And a booby trap off of the Tabor value. Pretty cool. And in a gung. Strong. Okay. So that's pretty good. The booby trap is awfully tempting now too. And I have the fittest, which is not a cauldron boil. Would have been really nice with a cauldron boil. It does feel like I'm unloading the Untame this turn. I don't think there's anything that other than a Maelstrom that really makes tons of sense. So yeah, let's do that. No in the archives. We're going to take this Maelstrom, play things for some pips, and toss out some artifacts that we're not going to see. So I dig that. Our draw is Mimicry, Ghost Hawk, Harbinger, and Wild Wormhole. And they want me to play Untamed again. Mildly annoying. Discards bubbles. Discards bubbles. Makes sense. Doesn't make sense. Why discard bubbles? Well, that's a key. Can I afford to give them 3 here? And is Dataforge a thing? Is Dataforge a thing for me? It feels like probably not a thing at this point. And I'm very likely not sad to go Untamed next turn. I guess the other thing to consider is if I give them 3, do they have any Amber Control actions? Just the Scooped? Pulling archives and giving up this Dataforge key does feel like a loss still. Losing chance. They're gonna go Star Alliance and replay all the stuff that they just redrew. Oof, seems bad. Seems bad either way. I think I'm gonna go Logos still. Give them the 3 Amber. Move things along. Play these Duders. Hope that my Ghost Hawk gets the value here. Okay, so they went actually into Shadows. Interesting. That's really interesting. So I can go Untamed. Untamed now. Pass on the archives once again. I can take them off of check with the Vine Apple tree. This little Nif is going to be super, super annoying with their Star Alliance creatures that are coming in ready. Let's see, I guess there won't be a way to play a ready Star Alliance creature next to the Nif via via Triska unless you can deploy it in. I don't see any deploy in there. So, Storm Surge is tempting. I'm also tempted to smash it with the cement shoes and take the tide. Also seems interesting. Let's discard the binding irons. See, the other really sad thing about smashing this NIF is it's going to give them two open spots next to their Triska, which is not very much fun. I guess I could go illusions here and tell them to go back into shadows. That seems kind of good. All right, let's do that. Illusions of grandeur. Please select shadows. I'll end my turn. Okay, cool. Don't hate seeing that in Furnace. Very nice. Okay, so they go back into Starlines. We expected this. They have a hand full of Starlines, as it were. There's Valmart. And they have the tide, so they'll still have a key cost of 7. Biome Discovery. Discards Operative Espion. Makes sense. We're hoping that they don't flip their deck. Okay, there's Triska. Tabor comes in not next to Triska. Interesting. Okay, but there's a Gung. A Gung makes Little Nif a Starline's creature, and then reaps, and now Little Nif is going to get to reap. Mars creature. Okay, so now they have 9. Nine is a lot. 9 is a lot. Don't think there's much we can do about 9 here. Wormhole into Eddie, perhaps. Wormhole into Eddie looks like our best bet. Infernus takes 2 pips. They have no double pipped cards that I saw. Okay, so Wormhole into Eddie is the plan. Malazan. Malazan's cool, but Malazan's not Eddie. So we'll reap it out, discard a thing, and say good game. Good game. Well played. Okay, cool. So one of the books for them. Very nice. Rematch and swap decks. Cool. All right, and so first or second, I like going first here. Okay, there's some cool stuff there. Wowza. Oh, that's tempting. I mean, I'm going to keep this hand. I mean, the Magician's not killing a Tabor unless they've got the Harbinger and Scullion in hand, and it seems unlikely. Seems really unlikely. So now we get a really fun turn here. I'm gonna reap, put the shoulder id right next to the Tabor. toss. Yeah, Mars. Mars for the Floxamal love. And raise and put the shoulder id. Get them an Amber Vap. So there we go. Very cool. So the info exchange to steal one, cutthroat research, play the data forge. Okay, cool. I'm going to just keep going with the board. Board seems really good. So we reap, turn this shoulder id into a Star Alliance Duder, reap again. I'm going to put a stunner on shoulder id. Today's your day, buddy. And play out the Flying Spectre. See if they like the idea of taking the tide. Okay, so there's the key to this. Very cool. Malazan. Malazan takes a trip to the Scullion tummy. And Scullion number 2 gets discarded. Okay, cool. So we are going to get hit with that key on the next turn. They've already played their cutthroat research, so let's just go for it, and let's leave ourselves with maybe a really nice Shadows turn to follow. Yeah, seems pretty good. Star Alliance. Reap. Let's stun the Scullion just for spite. Reap. If we want to go Shadows next turn, I may throw out the Wacolia just to get gobbled up by the key to dis. But let's see what the Biome Discovery shows us. Yeah, we want to take a look, of course. Okay, cool. We'll discard this Operative Espeon. That means we may in fact want to go into Unfathomable next turn. So let's play out this Seeker Needle, and it's pretty cool. It's cool. So we drew Storm Surge, we drew Illusions of Grandeur as we expected. We're probably going to toss them back into Dis for a silly turn and hope they maybe throw out some more dudes so that we can booby trap them. But alright, so let's go Unfathomable. Let us say, hey, please choose Dis once more. Exhaust this thing. Storm Surge. You will not unexhaust it, I say. Do we want to play this creature? They're going to Dis. They could have drawn an Infernus with their one draw, but it's unlikely. I think I'm going to discard it, hope to bank a key, and then I can start playing creatures on those flanks. Okay, so nice turn there. And I'm going to go, Unfathomable still looks pretty good. Bubbles that Dexys feels nice. Getting Val out there seems really good, and I can still Bubbles the Dexys. Yeah, it seems pretty nice to get Val rolling. So Dexys doesn't want me to play creatures on the right flank. I'm going to do that now, just in case it gets wormholed in or something, I can give Val a left flank neighbor. And that's cool. And our handcrafting is continuing to work its own magic. We'll play a Shadows creature on Val's left. Play our only non-Shadows card. And if they're really cooperating with us, they're going to play, a couple Daughters or something with an Eddie in the middle so we can booby trap it. But alas. Okay, anyway, Shadows it is. We would love the tide to be high. We would. I don't have a way to raise it, and it's certainly not worth that. So we're going to play this first. This Echo Pearl. will scoop to the daughter. I mean, Willa's much more likely to fight. I think I do want it there. So we'll just get a capture, that's fine. And I guess the question is a discard or a discard or hold in the booby trap. I was thinking hold. I think I'm still thinking hold. So let's do that. Yeah, I could have played it at the start of the turn just for an amber. When I still only had 2 creatures, but here we are. So they're playing regrowth. They've gotten a couple pips with the fittest Cauldron Boil and now a regrowth. Regrowth gets Scullion. Okay, so they've got the so they've got their Harbinger in hand. Very cool. That's fair. So we may try to clear out some stuff. So they're going this next turn. They plan to play Harbinger and then Scullion it. I'm super tempted to do the same trick that they did for us and just grab my Val with Safe or Sorry. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Okay, let's go Shadows. I probably want to play, very likely I'm going to play Unfathomable next turn. So why don't I clear out this Espeon, although I guess there's a case to be made for going back into Star Alliance to get Val on board again. So let's do that then. We'll use our out of house play to get a thingamajig and capture there. I'm gonna reap it out. And interesting, if they go dis, they're gonna have to Infernus us to take us off check. So that's cool. I'm gonna archive friendly creatures. Let's archive Val and Sea Urchin. Is it worth archiving? Sure. Easy Marks is a discard. I guess I could have archived one more so that I get to play so that I could have played Booby Trap. Womp womp. Alright, discarding this Booby Trap. This was a misplay on my part, but here we are. Okay, cool. So I don't mind a ton if they go dis and blow up my board here. I have a pretty nice Star Alliance turn coming at some point, and if they don't, I'm fine going Shadows here too. Okay, I've lost 2 amber thanks to Infernus. We knew the Infernus was coming. Scullion eats it, gets shuffled back in. Okay. Plays the Dexys out. Okay, so they did not Scullion a Harbinger. Interesting. So I could go back into Star Alliance, throw everything else out. They've really burned their board control options. Tempting. The Scullion can kill Val, but I don't mind it a ton. In Shadows, I can steal 2. Reap. Go to check. and then they have to go into not dis unless they happen to redraw that Infernus. In Star Alliance, I can play Espeon, Triska, and after I take the Tide, or if I take the Tide, I guess I can't take the Tide and get both the Triska and Espeon value, so it's a little bit annoying. All right, let's go Star Alliance. I'm going to do a yes on the archives. Play this Val. Triska. And now the question is, would I rather have the Triska play or the Espeon play? So if I raise once Espeon's on board, I can fight with Willa, which is pretty cool. Or I can fight with Espeon into, or reap with Espeon into something, then get a Sea Urchin play. Sea Urchin comes down and steals one. I guess if I was going to do the Espeon play, I probably should have put Espeon on the interior of Triska, but it was a little silly. I think I like killing that Dexus with... Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to raise the Tide now. Play already. Espeon here. Zap. Zap to get that in the center. Yeah, doesn't quite work, does it? Womp womp. So we're going to fight here. Throw some damage there. And then lock this duder down. End the turn. Okay, that could have been done better. Almost certainly. Almost certainly. They're going to play a Tau. Daughter, very nice. Okay, Sanitation Engineer, making my Shadow's turn look better and better. I like it. And an Igor. Okay, I don't think we've seen that that Eddie yet, have we? I don't think so. But I'm okay with this. Wild Wormhole to play Ghost Hawk. Ghost Hawk goes right there. Interesting. They say gross. I say wild. Indeed. Okay, cool. So... Sanitation and Villa can fight into Sanitation and Engineer. We can finish those off. It feels pretty good. Still not going to get things in the middle. The other option is Hookmaster comes down and fights a thing to take away 2. Actually, that looks pretty good. Let's go Unfathomable. Play the Hookmaster ready on the left, and we get to capture onto my. Let's capture onto the Villa. Sure. Cool. I'm expecting to play So now I can play either of these. I think I prefer playing the booby trap, actually. Gonna reap here. Gonna fight here. Oh, the hazardous. Oh, I did that math wrong, really? Oh, 5, 4, and 1. Yeah, that was really sloppy. Oy, so sloppy. So sloppy. Hey, thanks Data Force Stream. Good luck. Yeah, definitely had some better plays there. And there I miscounted on the hazardous. So super sloppy there. And could have played the booby trap first regardless. So big ol' womp womp. They get to keep their daughter out of the bargain. And let's see what they have for Amber Control left. They've likely redrawn the Infernus. At this point, only one card left in draw. They have the Vineapple Tree. I don't see the Exhume here, so Exhume can hit Eddie. So they have some choices. They go Untamed, so we're going to see the Vineapple Tree get ticked up. And they're in a precarious spot, same spot that I was in before, where if they tick up this tree, they're going to be having to forge a second key after they break it themselves. So unless they Mimicry me for some Amber Control, I guess that's another option. I don't think we've seen either Mimicry yet. So we could see Mimicry for Illusions of Grandeur. Zap. Zap's a good choice too. And the Untamed call makes more sense here too, as I'm right about to flip my deck. So we may see both Mimicries, and they're going to take out my Shadows dudes, and then Illusions me into Shadows, perhaps? Okay. Okay, cool. So they centered my Val for me. That's awfully nice. Let's go Shadows. Yeah, let's go Shadows. Cement Shoes is going to take something out. Val's going to give me a free play. I should use that before I flip the deck. I'll steal here, but I could also hit the daughter. Hit the daughter with Cement Shoes. Yes. Booby trap the Mermook. And I don't think I want to play this Maelstrom. Feels bad. So I'm going to play this key cost increaser. A ready Sea Urchin that's going to reap and then eat a Seeker Needle to send me to 12, and then we'll see if that's enough. Key cost of 9. They go into Dis real quick. The Infernuses are not going to do a ton, but they have the eyes, the evil eyes. So there's one evil eye and an Exhume. Exhume to play Imprinted Mermook. Okay. Harbinger of Doom. Nice. And a key to Dis. And an Infernus. They purge their own Exhume and Evil Eye. Okay, leaving me at 10. And then another Evil Eye. Wow, very nice. Cool. So their key cost will be 6. 6 with the Imprinted Mermook. They have 8. I could take them off check. No, make them forge for 8 with Vocolia. That seems awfully tempting. And they're not really in range, or they're not in range, sorry, for a Data Forge. So this comes down reaps. Key cost would normally be 8 plus 1, 9 minus 1, 8. Yeah, feels pretty good. And then, yeah, keep the burst going. Cool. So we're going to play the off-house card first. Reap with the bubbles. Exhaust their vine apple tree. So we're going to be able to kill some stuff. I guess I could kill some stuff now. Take them off of check. Maybe that's just better. Reap here. So that would be an exact forge. Oof. Yeah, maybe we take them off the key. That seems pretty good too. Sure. Being really greedy. Being really, really greedy. The greediest. Denying the key. They go untamed. Okay. Untamed will not stop a check at 12, though it may be an impressive finish. Oh, cool. Ghost Hawk comes in regrowthed. 16 amber. Yeah, just wanting to make sure that the big numbers are in mind when we go to bidding. Archives, Ghost Hawk, and Infernus, sacrifice key to Dis. Yeah, good game. Well played. Okay, cool. So very, very fun. Very fun matchup. Sure thing. I'll remake the adaptive short. Competitive, ABR, adaptive best of one, and Russell the Magician of the Abnormal. So interesting one. Their deck definitely won both convincingly, it felt. I don't think that the Magician is that far behind. It might be too far behind to really go for that Data Forge line. Straight to 24 chains. Come on, no help from the chat. I am obligated to bid on. Oh no, their deck won both. Yeah, I'm obligated to select theirs as the deck to bid on. I don't think I really want more than four chains, especially going. So now, if I say 3, they get to say 4. This is a case where I'm very tempted to 5. See, I really don't want to give them that deck for 4. And I think I'd rather play it at 5 than give it to them for 4. And now they're thinking, we'll see what happens. Oh, they're thinking. They say 6. Okay, I'm very happy to pass at 6. And they're going first, so that's all good. They get to choose. Get a Binding Irons, right? That is my plan. Go with the Binding Irons. The Binding Irons double daughter opener. I feel like... Okay, cool. Ooh, mama, that's a lot of dis. Okay, let's just play out the duders. Let's play out the duders. I love having that Ghost Hawk as the one untamed right now too. Flying Spectre comes down. Let's go dis. Let's go dis. Let's go Binding Irons. Them chains. I'm gonna hold the Infernus. I feel like it's a good hold, but I may regret it. We'll see. Unfathomable Storm Surge. Okay, Bubbles. Rude. Still going Untamed. Still playing this Ghost Hawk to Reap. Still playing this Rustnar and putting some +1 counters on my dudes. Gonna be coming for that Spectre at some point. And, ooh, love connecting Harbinger and Scullion. Okay, so they archive bubbles. That's cool. And they have no board. I'd really like to see them unload that that Star Alliance monstrosity. And I misplayed, a little slight misplay there. Stacking up untamed creatures next to untamed creatures. Kind of want them... kind of want the non-untamed creatures in a block for Ghost Hawk. So they go Unfathomable, take that Bubbles back, playing for some tempo. I'm gonna Bubbles the Malazan. Okay, fair. I'm pretty happy to go right back into Star Alliance. Or sorry, Star Alliance, into Logos. Ooh, usually I would say, yeah, we're going with that. Play the Anomaly Exploiter. Play this Cutthroat. Reap. Come on, K-March. Unload the old Star Alliance. Yeah, that's fair. Daughter was hoping to wear some cement shoes. That's pretty fair. I'm tempted to leave the cement shoes in archives in their discard for me to mimicry later. I do want to go dis here though. Not taking the archives. I'm going to use the Harbinger play. Harbinger and Scullion wipes the board. And I think I actually just wanted to have the Daughter more than another Infernus right here. So the Infernus comes down second. We'll take the Booby Trap and... I think I'd rather leave the Maelstrom also as a target. So let's take the Hookmaster. Malazan, Dexys to always grab a damage if they're going to play a creature next. Exhume is going to get me a Daughter. And not finished with this Daughter. Gross. So I've just used my board wipe. So naturally, the Val. I dig it. Well played indeed. Valmart. Okay, so not foraging. Really not foraging with the sabotage mission. Okay. Did they give me something good to mimicry? I think I still want to keep going with the logos. Nope. Okay, taking a daughter, I don't mind. At this point, I'll draw back into the data forge if I want to. Reap and some duders. And I'm super happy that that data forge, or that their maelstrom is already in discard. Makes it a little bigger so folks can see. So they've got a stunner and now an ambervac on Val too. Cool. So they're going to stun a thing. What gets stunned? Stun the Malzahn. Booby trap wipes a lot of stuff. That's harsh. But I do get a key. And my things get exhausted. The mimicries will do a lot of work here. I could kill Val with Safer Sorry. I could also do it. Some good options. Some good options. Going into Logos 2 would tax them for a full 8, but would leave them with those dudes, which doesn't feel great. I may draw Tau, key to Dis. Yeah, I think we're going to spend the mimicries here. And I am going to take the archives for this regrowth. Playing the Vine Apple Tree. Sabotage mission. I have 5s and 4s. I will have 5s, 4s, and 3s if I play this dude. Don't love that. Question is, I booby trap and then 2, then I'll get to raise the tide. Is that better than just killing off Val? I think I'd rather just kill off Val. So we're going to mimicry. Booby trap Val. Mimicry again for another booby trap. Wipes everything. Seems pretty good. And first going to regrow a daughter. Put this on the left. So they get a key. Place Tabor to lose 1. Don't hate that. I don't have any dangerous plays. That's nice. And I'm going to reshuffle after the next turn. Zap spreads some damage around. Exalting damage creatures. Sneaky. That is sneaky. Okay, so we go Logos. Yeah, I would love to reap. Reaping's good, but I'm getting rid of a damaged dude. Taking away that Tabor feels necessary. I'm going to kill this Infernus, so I will redraw it. Cauldron Boil. I would rather... I guess it will not affect them, but let's get some more information first. So let's Wild Wormhole. Info exchange steals 1. That's cool. Daughter and Eddie archiving Scullion for when I redraw. For when I redraw that, there's some serious daughter magic happening, says K-March. It helps that I have 2 daughters of my own, you know, there it kind of works out that way. They won't go to sleep. Past their bedtime, but they won't go to bed. Okay. Illusions of Grandeur wants me to pick Logos. I think I'm okay picking Logos. I'm really okay picking Logos. I would really like to purge their Maelstrom before they reshuffle. So hoping to get 1 more dis turn in before then. But no. Another question is, do I take the Dexys? Nah. Alright, so first we're going to Igor. Ooh, info exchange or mimicry. Decisions. I think I just want the info exchange right now. Drawing things, archiving, this Napata. Info exchange. Cutthroat research. Now I have 2 in archives. Key cost of 5. 3 logo studs. So 3, 6. And then 8 plus 7 is 15. Yeah, okay. Let's see what that does. Yeah, so I have 7 in hand, 2 in archives, that's 9. 3 amber is 12. 13, 14, 15 would be enough. So we'll see if I get to do it. To double count everything 1,000 times. Okay. Yeah, if they had exhausted a Logos dude, I think that would have been good enough to survive. So let's see, 7, 9, and 3 is 12. 13, 14, 15 is 10 plus 5. So that should be enough. Whew, just enough. I am taking a screen capture of this jtrussell forges with DataForge so we can send it off to DataForge Stream when we get over there. But you all saw it. You'll have to let them know. Good game. Well played. To K-March, I'm actually going to raid the old DataForge. So you all can head on over there or hang out here, and I will send you that way. But yeah, we're going to make that happen. If I can. Exchanging some end of game pleasantries. Okay. All right. Always figure things out here. Gonna raid DataForge. Sending you all over there. Let's check it out. Now the countdown. 8, 7, 6. The wheels are turning. Hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hope it was fun. For more of the adaptive goodness, I definitely would recommend y'all check out the Kagi stuff. We'll see you.